You want to be an Amazon bestseller? Well, everyone's an Amazon bestseller. They have thousands of categories. Today, I'm going to teach you guys how to become a New York Times bestselling author. Some of you know this about me and some of you don't, but I co-authored a book called Hustle. We hit the New York Times bestseller list not once, but 3 times in a row. So if I can do it, and I have terrible grammar and writing, that means you too can do it as well. And here's how you do it. First, you gotta sell a shitload of copies. If you sell a lot of copies in the first week, you're more likely to hit the New York Times bestseller list. But you know what? It's hard to sell a lot of books all at once. But here's the thing that they don't tell you. If you sell books a year in advance, all of those book sales count for your first week. So if you sell a lot of books, it all counts to your first week. So pre-sell as many books as you can. And don't just sell them online. You gotta sell them in bookstores like Barnes & Nobles. You gotta sell them in Amazon. You gotta sell them to corporations. You need to sell them to everyone. Because they're also looking at who's just selling books on Amazon. If everyone just sells books only on Amazon, they're gonna be like, They're probably gaming the system and doing something just for Amazon. But if someone's selling books on Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, local bookstores at the college, what are they gonna think? Oh wow, this book is really popular. It deserves to be on the New York Times bestseller list. The next thing that they don't tell you is, it's all discretionary. If they want you to be on the bestseller list, you will. And if they don't, even if you sell a lot of copies, you won't. So make sure you have a good publisher. And I know that's gonna hurt for a lot of you guys who are trying to self-publish, but if you self-publish, you're pretty much shit out of luck. You need a really good publisher. If you have a well-known name backing you, even if they don't give you a lot of money or they don't give you a lot of perks, it's still worth it because that's gonna increase your odds of succeeding. The next thing you want to do is create a ton of press. If people see a lot of press with the book sales, it's much more believable. If they don't, it's not as believable. And here's the thing that they don't tell you, and here's how it really hit the New York Times bestseller list. It's actually 2 things that I did. You need a lot of corporate book sales. I don't care if you're selling to consumers or businesses, you need a lot of book sales, and the easiest way to get that is from other businesses or conferences, assuming you're a paid speaker. And if you can get them to buy in bulk, you're much more likely to hit. The reason Hustle hit isn't because I have a big social media following. It's because I hit up a lot of big businesses and I traded services. I said, hey, I will do your marketing in exchange for you to buy $100,000 worth of books. And I did that 5 times. That means I pre-sold $500,000 worth of books to companies by doing a trade of services. You guys have heard of the name Gary Vaynerchuk? Well, who hasn't? Do you know how he hits the New York Times bestseller list a lot of the times? When he goes to conferences and speaks, he's getting them to buy books. So before he has a new book that's coming out, a lot of these conferences are buying his book, and that helps him hit the New York Times bestseller list. Now, the second part of that trick that I told you that really helped me is we use a company called Result Source. And what I didn't know is you can also do this by just hitting up Barnes & Nobles and all the major book suppliers. What they do is they take all your pre-sale money and they take that money and they distribute it to Barnes & Nobles and Amazon and a lot of random places. So it seems legitimate and quote unquote natural. So the New York Times believes it's all natural, and then you hit the list and you can hit it multiple weeks in a row. And what these companies do is they don't just release the books all at once because New York Times is catching on. They release it over a period of a few weeks because you can hit the weekly list and the monthly list. So if you want to hit the list, don't have all your book sales hit right away, make them spread out. Now here's a caveat, and here's what most people won't be telling you. You probably want to hit the New York Times bestseller list because you think it's going to get you higher speaking fees, it's going to make your career, and you're going to do really well. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, it didn't do much for me. I didn't get higher speaking fees, I didn't get more traffic to my website, and my business didn't grow. Now my book wasn't related to marketing, and I do believe that's part of the reason on why I didn't do that well financially from the book. I did get a $500,000 advance to write the book though. which was nice. But if I wrote a book that was similar to my main core profession, even if that meant I couldn't sell as many copies and hit the New York Times bestseller list, I would have done better financially, or at least that's what I feel, and that's what other authors who have hit the list or have written books have also told me. The other thing that I've learned is I co-authored a book, and I love my co-authors, but you should write a book under your name and no one else's name, so it should just be you by yourself, because it'll do much better for your career. And of course, if you're just starting off, I do believe it'll help you a lot more than it helped me, because I've been in my career for over 16 years. I'm already getting paid tens and thousands of dollars for a corporate speaking gig. So having a book doesn't really help much more.